welcome to animation, technically. And today we're just looking through this rig. For a character just known as the Leaping Lizard, there's not much else to him. It's been made for a book on animation, on how to animate fantasy creatures, which will be something to look forward to in the future. This rig in particular was made using AdvancedSkeleton5. In my opinion, it's one of the most diverse rigging systems you can get for Maya. It's very good at dealing with bespoke characters, while many packages seem to be either focused around either bipedal or quadrupedal characters. This gives you a big load of range that you can use to make something pretty unique, as I have here. So it's a cross between a kangaroo and a lizard, and it has quite a bit of flexibility. I'll talk about the face rig in a second, but for most things it's fairly simple. Most options give you IK and FK controls you can toggle between. That includes the hands, which have IK, FK, the body and tail, which has Spline IK as well. You can jump back and forth between them. You can see they're not quite lined up properly because this is actually the idle pose I've been using for animation. You can toggle between FK for the body and the Spline IK, which also gives you stretch for the red controls and green for FK but on the spline, giving you a linear parent hierarchy based animation. Same thing on the tail as well. The blue plus icons are the standard for Advanced Skeleton that let you toggle between them, and as I said before, the same for the hands and feet. The feet in particular have been given full foot controls as well, giving you pivots at the heel, the toe, and rotation of the entire foot, the front foot. It lets you do a wide range of animation that you will have seen at the start of this video as my little test. The face, on the other hand, has a bit more to it outside of the gills, which I've kept FK. Just for ease, this is my own personal animating preference. Even on tails, I do prefer to animate with FK because it gives me more control over the flicks on the tail. That's not to everyone's preference, and of course as an animator or a rigger when you're building for an animator, you want to keep everything as open as possible, as many options as possible. So more controls are better, whether they get used or not, they do the job for their animator. So we have obviously eyes, 3 eyes in general. The Advanced Skeleton obviously taking care of the primary eyes, with blend spaces handling the blink of the eye as well when needed. The tongue has its own point, and it's also on a Spline IK as well that can be transferred to FK just like everything else. I haven't used the full range of the face rig options just because I didn't need to. Getting Advanced Skeleton to support the topology as well, it still seems like it's aimed primarily at a bipedal face, and it wasn't modelled with this in mind. This was more of a test of Advanced Skeleton. In general, the model wasn't quite modelled as I would like it, but it was pretty close. Arms are mostly straight, legs are about right for a kangaroo-like creature, while the tail would have been straight. The spine being straight as well, which it mostly is, meant that there wasn't a big issue with it. It gets everything that's really needed. I could have taken it one step farther and put counter rotations on the gills or the fins on the front, so that they counter rotate to the head movement as well. So you have the phonemes and everything else from the character, but it's not mostly needed. But you can see the standards of facial controls are in here as well. You can go in and use the Spline IK systems to control eyes, or you can use the gilded UI to control it if you want to, which does have its own range of phonemes, which again, compatibility issues mean it doesn't always work as planned, but they are there, and you can try and make some shapes with them. It's not a bad hacking of the Advanced Skeleton system onto this face, because it gets the eyes and the brow movement and the snout, which is about all that was needed for the brief of this character. And as nice as it is, you want to try and keep to the brief, as well as giving as much control as possible. The original idea was to use blend shapes for this as well, being custom crafted first, like many characters do use. But that was it. That's the Leaping Lizard, and I hope you enjoyed this little breakdown. Other characters will have more in-depth on their creation, the rigging process, etc., but this was done prior to me deciding to do this, so I hope you enjoyed this little look at this guy. So thanks for watching, and just as I show off a little bit of the animation again at the start of this video, I'm aiming to improve this YouTube page, account, whatever you want to call it, with lots of little custom rigs and things. Obviously I can't share a lot of work I've worked on officially, but I'm making custom rigs based on other game characters and models for other people, as a way to kind of show off skills, test different systems, test different software, and answer questions as well. So if you're an animator, a rigger, or a modeler, or you want to become one of those things, either in or outside the games industry, as everything I make is being made with game use being the primary ideal behind it first and foremost. If you have a question or want to know how something's done as well, I'm more than interested. I'm excited about making tutorial based videos as well. I mentioned IKFK a lot in this. If you don't know what that means or how to set it up, especially dual IKFK systems, and want to get a run through of it, a brief video, a tutorial, etc., I'm more than happy to do that for videos as well, because as much as this is just making stuff as well, it's also great refreshers for people, or when I make advanced stuff, it's a great refresher for me if I have to do it again years down the line and I've forgotten how I've done it the first time. I can even look back at these myself. But thanks for watching, and I look forward to showing off new stuff soon. Charizard is my next major rig I'm working on, so if you're a Pokemon fan, I hope you look forward to that, and see you all later.